Hey everyone, I'm going to do a quick review on the Nikon F100. I just got this camera about a week or two ago. This won't be a full review because I have not gotten any of my images back. They still need to be developed. But I'll just give you a quick rundown of the camera, at least what I know of it, and give you some of my thoughts on it. So to start off with, this was one of Nikon's last film cameras that they made as far as DSLRs, or not DSLRs, regular SLRs, not digital. This was basically the one step down from the F5. I believe this did come out after the F5, so this is a newer camera than the F5. And it looks pretty similar to the F5. If you obviously it doesn't have the integrated battery grip, but other than that, it's very similar. Most people actually will prefer an F100 to an F5 just because it's not so big and heavy. But I haven't held an F5 yet, so I can't give any thoughts on that. These cameras, for the most part, can be had for around anywhere from about $150 to $250. A lot of times you can still get them new in the box. They'll take most Nikon lenses since 1977. Pre-AI lenses do need to be converted. One thing that this does not have that some of the newer professional and higher end digital bodies have is with the manual focus lenses. It does not do matrix metering. You can leave it on matrix metering, but it'll revert to center weighted if you use manual focus bodies, which isn't too big of a deal for me, at least. I like the matrix metering, but you know, it's not too big of a deal to use the center weighted. One problem that I see a lot of times is a lot of people say this camera has the same meter as the F5, and that is not the case. The F5 has a better colored matrix metering system. This one has still a really good, from what I've read, matrix metering system, but it's not the same. So I know a lot of people say that, but it is not the same. I'll just give you a quick rundown of everything, like most Nikons. Switch it on up here, and you can turn the light on by pushing it forward like that. There are custom function menus with this camera, which I am not a big fan of. However, most of the custom function settings they're not anything you would you necessarily need, that I would say that would need a button or anything like that. Most of the things that you would need for this camera just have a regular button on them. So it's I'm not sure if it's magnesium body or what it is. It's some sort of metal, but the only thing that's plastic on it is the film door. That's the only thing that's plastic on the camera. Other than that, it's a very, very solid camera. This would have been in line with like a Canon EOS 3, which I actually, excuse me a second, I actually do have one. For comparison reasons. And it actually has a 28-105 on it, which this does as well. So these would have been the comparable cameras in the mid-90s. They would have been the not the full-on professional ones, but they would have been the second in line So as you can see, they're fairly similar size. The Canon is a little bigger, but in terms of weight, the F100 is actually a little heavier. I've used both of them. I wasn't super impressed with the matrix metering. So it's not called matrix metering, but I think Canon calls it evaluative metering on the EOS 3. And I didn't care for it that much. I didn't think it was that good. So that is why I'm actually selling the EOS 3. Really good camera. It actually, it's an awesome camera to hold, and it's really well made. But it's just not. I haven't been as impressed with the Canon lenses. I know their L lenses are really good, but those are also super expensive, and there's not a lot of lens compatibility with it. Has kind of a loud shutter too, I always thought. So yeah, this camera is actually for sale, but we won't talk about that anymore on that. Back to the F100. Like I was saying with the custom functions, it's not quite the same as the Canon, and at least I don't think. I think this is a little easier to use. I like the layouts of all the buttons and whatnot. Let's see, this has the bracketing. You can adjust your flash settings, ISO, which you can obviously adjust, or set to DX so it'll automatically read the film. This is the custom settings. I think you use that in relation with this button up here, this mode button. There's two green dots there. I have not messed with any of the custom functions with this camera. I never really had the need to, so I haven't. Your auto exposure lock is right here, really easy to use. Your correction for the viewfinder is right there. You have, I'll see if I can focus in on this. That's pretty good. You have a switch here, which you can switch between all the different modes. So single, obviously. Ooh, let me switch the camera on. Switch it to manual. Alright, and continuous. I think it's like 5 frames a second or 4.5. I don't know. I don't really need to use that. And then the continuous S, which I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure if that is just a faster version. I don't think so, but sounds like it might be. But I don't know. I don't use that very often. I've never saw the need to blow through a roll of film that fast. So let's see if there's anything else I can talk about. It has a really nice viewfinder. I'll see if I can zoom in at all or show you that at all. Oh yeah. So pretty standard, pretty nice bright viewfinder. Not the best I've ever used, but it's pretty good. So yeah, there's really not a whole lot else I can say without, actually having any images to show you. I've really enjoyed using it. I am switching over a lot of my things to a Nikon setup. The main reason for that is just the lens compatibility. I really like the idea that I can, take this lens off and put a manual focus lens on, and it'll still meter and everything properly. And this camera does have the really nice focus confirmation. I'll see if I can show it to you. I don't know how well this will work, but I would like to show this. Okay, this might be kind of tricky, but I'll see here. So you can see down here in this corner, there's some dots and whatnot. It's probably not going to show up very well, but you can see there it's flashing, and there's arrows to tell you, you know, if you need to go, you know, which way you need to turn the focus, and then it lights up green when you finally get it. I haven't used it with a manual lens yet. I've got one AIS lens coming on the way, and I'm going to get a lot of my old non-AI lenses converted, and then I'll be able to use them. Obviously without matrix metering, but not a big deal for me. So yeah, that is it. I will probably make another video when I get some of my images back. But yeah, this has been a very nice camera. This is the 28 to 105 3.5 to 4.5 D lens. It's actually my fiance's lens. I just been borrowing it because I just started using Nikon stuff. So that is all for this video. I'm sure I left a lot out. I know I did. But I haven't gotten any film back yet. So I will put a link to my Flickr account where you can see a lot of my images. I am going to now make a video on some of my older Nikons. So some of my manual focus bodies. So be watching for that if you're interested. Thank you.